Hello, this is Diana Smith, and I will be talking about my last presentation in medical terminology, what I have learned from week 1 about the mistakes, week 2, what I have learned about myself, and week 3, my insights about my interview that I have with my current manager. So, for the first one, I found an article that I will be showing right now. Okay, and the article is Confusing Medical Terminology by Gilman, Bedigan, and Bedigan. So in this article, confusing medical terminology can increase the risk of medical errors. And by this point, we have learned about if we do not have the right medical terminology or we use the incorrect abbreviations, we'll be making an error that can lead to harm the patient, harm the company, and can lead us to lose our jobs. I find this paragraph here very important. This is one of the most common medical abbreviations. Errors include the use of QD for once daily. QD can be mistaken for QID, meaning 4 times daily. This mistake could use a patient to take 4 times the recommended dose in one day, potentially causing injury or serious harm. If we work in the medical field, we need to be careful about this. Where I work right now, we use a lot of medical terminology because that's the way the doctor I work with likes to chart. So I need to be careful for the dosage, how many times a day, the prescription. There needs to be correct spell, but it's some medications that sound the same, but they are not the same. And I will be putting the link for this article. It's just a small article, but I think it's very important for us to know that. And for the second week, that what I have learned about myself, I have learned that I still lack of some knowledge. I use our book or material that we had for this, but I also use this book that I had it for my medical assistant program, and it helped me a lot too. I find some words, because I'm bilingual, I find some words that are really hard for me to understand, so I have to put some attention in those words as and the word that I was looking for is hydrocele, that it means swelling in the scrotum. It's a word that I have learned in this book that I have here, but I have compared with the material that we have in our last class too. And another thing that I have learned in my second week is that I lack of some strengths that I should have if my goal is to be a healthcare manager. And I'm gonna be showing you the second article that I found. It's by the U.S. National Library of Medicine, National Institute of Health, and it's called Character Strengths Profiles in Medical Professionals for Their Impact on Well-Being. It's a pretty interesting article, and there's a part here. And the summary says, depending on their respective focus, different virtues or character strengths are desirable for medical students and physicians. In literature, the virtues of compassion, courage, altruism, and benevolence were found most summarizing. The VIA classified character strengths. Fairness, honesty, kindness, and teamwork were considered most often by respondents to the particular important among both groups. And then the last here it says, intensely increasing workload, occupational stress, and their potential adverse effects were considered as well in this pledge, leading to take off. I will attend to my own health, well-being, and abilities in order to provide care of the highest standard. This I want to focus because a lot of us, especially the ones that we work in the pandemic, I was lacking of sleep. At that time, I was working in a nursing home, and I was working 16-hour shift in a row because we were lacking of people. But I had to speak with my manager because I wasn't putting 100%. Leading to the last hours of my shift, I was pretty much falling asleep, forgetting to put my goggles because at that time we're full PPE, and I ended up having COVID. So I did spoke to them. It was my responsibility to be prepared for the job, but at the same time was the responsibility of the company to provide the rest each of us need. And the work that I'm working now, I do have a day off, but I work 4 hours, 10-hour shifts. And in my second job in a nursing home right now, I'm just working 2 8-hour shifts on the weekends. So I think it is important for each of us to find what are we lacking and how can we add to the company. And lastly, I had my interview with my current office manager, and she was able to describe the job, to tell me what's the medical terminology that we use, but she recommended me to have a look in some of the challenges of leadership because she said that's something she struggled a lot and something that she had mistakes. Leading a team is not easy, but being a good leader isn't either. She said with experience, with the knowledge you gain while you're at college, you will be able to manage to have both. So the last article I'm going to share is this one that she emailed me after the interview. It talks about the challenges of leadership. And there's a part that here. The message is clear. For you to succeed as a leader, you must have a vision. You must communicate that vision, and more importantly, your actions must be seen as aligned with that vision. Yet, a vision is more than a statement or purpose. Rather, it is an aspirational expression of the future the organization is seeking to achieve. My goal, what I want, my plans to be an asset to the company I want to work is to be as understanding as I could, to try to apply all what I have learned, to keep learning from the moment I graduate and on, because we're never going to stop learning, and to have the compassion for employees and the patients that I think a lot of company lack. Uh, the reason why I wanted to be in the medical field is because my first husband passed away in 2019, and I spent with him 4 months in the hospital. And there was so people that would come on the overnight shift, especially, that would have an attitude. They weren't kind. They barely speak to us. They barely tell us what was going on. They didn't even tell us what his condition name was. And I know it's not gonna be a fix from one day to another, but I really think as a good manager and as a good teacher for people that will come to the company I want to work, I just want to be that someone that patients and employees can relate, and with time just to train people to be more have more compassion and kindness from one another. If God had compassion for us, we should do the same. As me, as I'm a Christian, and Christian, and I consider myself a woman of faith. So I want to teach that to the people I will be working with. I really enjoyed this class, and I hope this video uh, shows what I have learned and what are my hopes for the future. Thank you.